So I'm on the Zeiss stand at NAB. We've come all the way over to the United States of America for you to show me your new case.
Yes.
What's in your new case?
Oh, you want to know what's in it?
Well, it's quite shiny anyway, but what's actually in it?
It's light. It's a Peli Air. Okay, what's in it? CP3s.
Oh,
Let me put them down.
yeah, let's put them down there.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously it's not CP2, it's a CP3.
Well done.
It's smaller.
It is smaller. Yes. It has a smaller diameter, so instead of being 114, it's 95. We've improved the focusing mechanism. One of the few criticisms we got of CP2s is that the focusing was quite stiff, particularly when you went somewhere cold.
Yeah.
It took quite a strong follow focus unit to be able to drive it. So we've taken the technology from our Master Primes and we put them in so you have this gorgeous silky focusing mechanism. You've still got a 300-degree focus throw. So we haven't changed what worked about CP2s. So you've still got 14 aperture blades for a gorgeous circular bouquet. You've still got a user interchangeable mount system, so the 5 usual mounts. The most popular being Canon, PL, and Sony, but you can also have Nikon, as we're in America, and Micro Four Thirds.
Yep.
We have 10 focal lengths that we've launched in one go, so from a 15mm all the way up to a 135. Most of them are the same height exactly. So if we take the cap off, not only do the gears line up,
Okay.
but they are exactly the same height and almost the same weight. So if you're using them in a gimbal or on a drone where balancing and other adjustments are sometimes a problem, very, very easy with these. You can just whack them in and whack them out. The only 2 exceptions to that are the longer focal lengths. So we have a 100 and a 135, which are about that long.
Okay. And in terms of aperture, they're now go up to 2.9?
Well, the first 3 focal lengths in terms of wide angle, the 15, the 18, and the 21 are T2.9, and the other 8 are all T2.1. So we've flattened out the irises to make them a bit more consistent. It's just really hard to make a lens this size, like a 15, this fast.
Yeah.
A T2.1, it just becomes huge.
Yeah.
And the whole point of these was smaller, lighter. So they're about the same size as the Ultra Primes.
Yeah.
Optically, they match up to Ultras very well. And bear in mind, Ultras are
expensive.
8.5 grand.
Yeah.
But they're also full frame coverage, including the 18. The 18 was something of a black sheep of the family in that it wasn't full frame.
Yeah.
So this one has been built from the ground up and is now full frame and gorgeous. Very, very sharp edge to edge. Very little distortion, which brings me neatly on to extended data. See what I did there? You like that?
I like the way you did that. So XD stands for?
Extended data. No, we can't spell. There should be an E on there. But hey ho. So what does it do? Well, it's basically Cook Eye technology with extra bits. So just to refresh your viewers what Cook Eye does, it gives you data in terms of the focus down to 1 millimeter. Mm-hmm. So where are you focused precisely? It gives you metadata on the iris down to 1/10 of a stop. And of course, it tells the camera what focal length you're using. So all that data is recorded frame by frame. Really useful to know. So that's old news. Cook have been doing that for some time. We've taken it to a new level. You can now also, all the information in terms of the distortion of the lens and the shading of the lens is stored in here. Excuse me, my voice is going.
That's all right.
That's not just, a 15 has this information.
Yeah.
We measure this 15.
Yeah.
So that previously, a chart like the one we have on the other end of the stand would have to be used, and someone would have to spend a couple of hours, depending on how good they were, measuring all the characteristics of the lens to give to the post team to give them that information. But it's all built in, actually probably more accurately than measuring it manually would be. So all that is inside the lens. Why do you want that? What's cool about that? I can think of a few applications. Say you're doing a 360 shoot.
Yep.
Stitching the edges of the frame is a bit of a bugger because shading means that you're going to get dark around the edge and distortion means that they're going to bend at the edge. So that takes a lot of skill, hard work to do. So you just dial it out on post. Shading gone, distortion gone, stitch them in. But if for artistic reasons you want to put that back in because you like the vignetting, you like the distortion, dial it in.
Yeah.
In fact, you can even beef it up. You can make it shade more, you can make it distort more later for artistic reasons. speaking of artistic reasons, it will also, that distortion particularly, will have other effects on the image. Imagine the shape of the bouquet. If you change the distortion, you squash or unsquash it. And people get terribly excited about this. So the creative ramifications of this technology are amazing. The stuff that you can do with it. So it will save time, it will save money, it will allow quite low budget organisations to do Hollywood level.
Well, this is where I'm coming from, which is why we were talking last night and we're a bit excited about it, is that suddenly technology that was way outside our customers' sort of remit in terms of budgets
Precisely.
is now coming to them in terms of not only the information that they can actually have out of it, but also the quality of the lens.
Indeed, you got it right. So DaVinci Resolve is free, and that allows you to, this will work with DaVinci Resolve, and you can do Hollywood type stuff. You can, VFX are suddenly within the budget of an owner-operator. You know, they can be shooting at a low budget level and do really, well, Hollywood, as we hear, level stuff. It's amazing. And this is just the beginning of what we can do with this. We've got lots of creative ideas on other stuff that we can do, which we're not allowed to talk about at the moment, but the sky is the limit. This is truly groundbreaking stuff.
It's very exciting.
It's brought lenses into line with the sort of technology you're getting in cameras, and at a very affordable price. The normal non-XD versions are about the same price as normal CP2s. The XD versions are about 1,300 quid more, but to be honest, for what it allows you to do and the time it will save you, it's a very sensible investment. And that's the other point about glass. You know, it doesn't get old. It's not like it's got a sensor in it.
No,
You know,
no.
Physics is not going to change.
So when are we going to see them?
That's a good question. In theory, they're going to start shipping the non-XD versions, depending on the focal length, around about June. And the XD versions are going to start shipping around about September. Judging by the amount of orders we've had already, 3 hours into NAB, it's possible that there might be an extension to that time. We'll see.
But I put my order in last night.
You did, so you're in front of the queue, Mr. Thatcher, as always.
So, listen, thank you very much indeed for your
My
time.
pleasure.
Roll on September is what I say. We are going to have all of them in stock, and I really can't wait till they arrive. Thanks, Lou.
Cheers.